Hi everyone, this is Pancho here from Frontier Performance. Just done a training session here at Lexus, and one of the key things we spoke about was the power of influence. What is influence? How do we do it? So I actually ran through a number of constructions of using language to affect how people perceive you. And one of the key things is I wrote over here on this piece of paper, words give you options to change the view of the client. Choose them wisely. They can re-engage the client into the problem, or they can open the mind of the client to new options. The language of the body. So what we're talking about is what we call visceral language. And how do we use visceral language to change a person's perceptions? So let's have a look at one of the most important things about this training was actually understanding how you change the human behavior, the decision making by the client without them actually disagreeing with you. How do we influence that thinking? So one of the most important things is I looked at what I call the persuasion code or the influence code. And one of the most important things is actually understanding that when influence happens or when persuasion happens, it's invisible. Whenever you think about buying something, you do it quite willingly, and you actually enjoy the buying experience. You actually like to be sold. So when you think about how do you influence people, think about the times when it's really difficult moving someone's mind, you want to change them. How do you do it without the resistance? So let me go into understanding what visceral language is. Visceral language is all about changing the mood of the person, so the mind thinks differently and you get better actions. So if you change the mood, you change the mind, and then action actually happens. And what most people do, most salespeople do, is that they actually create a knot in the client to resist change, to open their minds up. Whether the product or the service is right for the client is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how the client gets stuck in a viewpoint, and all the salesperson does is promote that stuckness. There is no effort done to actually understand how to change the client's mind. And so when we look at what a sure bet is, one of the language patterns that I actually taught was the movement language pattern, which is actually using adverbs. Now, this is a bit of an English lesson, yes, maybe, but the biggest limitation that most salespeople have is a lack of grammar and understanding particular use of certain adverbs to actually open up a client's mind. So if I use the word naturally, easily, and limited, so if a client comes to me and says, I'm not sure that I can actually do this, and if you were to say, well, let's see how we can make it work for you, but if I said, well, naturally many clients at that stage of understanding whether they want to buy this product or not are in that viewpoint. If I could easily show you how to do this, the options are unlimited for you. Now, when you assess this type of language, you only assess it not by logical thought, but how did you feel when I said it? So there is a whole bunch of what we call particular words, visceral language words, that if you use, can actually open up a stuck viewpoint. So this is the kind of training that would be of interest to you. Have a look at it, come back to us, because what we can do is give you a bit of a rundown on how it actually works. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little subset of what influence is all about.